16th for about another hour, and the Yankees outlasted the Minnesota Twins. And we're going to talk a little bit about that game while the emotions are still fresh. For recap, the Yankees led 10-1 in this game. They led 10-1 in the third inning and proceeded to piss that lead away to the point where it's a one-run game with your closer on the mound trying to battle to get one out because he had given up a solo home run, which, let's be honest here, a solo home run every once in a while isn't going to kill you in a two-run or a three-run game. Obviously, in a tie game, a solo home run kills in a tie game or a one-run game. The Yankees had 16 hits and 10 runs. They didn't score from the fourth inning on, which is something I was monitoring because I was like, this team got off to such a hot start against Zebby Matthews. Here's Boone. Let's listen to him. Boone said he exhaled after the final out. So did I, because I didn't think they were getting it. Oh, so he just referenced what I referenced, that the offense was good the first few innings and then kind of fell off. So the at bats were all great against Zebby, which yeah. All right, more stupidity from him. He's pretty much saying the way they performed yesterday, it was good to get off the schneid a little bit and score runs early. The Yankees' problem, and it's been the problem it's been the problem since opening day. Okay, if we can go back to opening day 100 some odd, 150 days ago, or 150 games ago, to Devin Williams loading the bases with nobody out and only gave up one and walked the tightrope to get the save. I think that's when we all should have known what kind of year this bullpen was. That was like a huge foreshadow to just how bad this bullpen is going to be. This bullpen sucks. Flat out, point blank, they fucking stink. I don't think it's an overreaction. They might actually be the worst fucking crew of relievers among playoff teams. Look at the Boston bullpen, what they just did with you. And the Twins bullpen, who came out there today and gave up a combined one run. That was in the fourth inning on the Volpe RBI single. Their bullpen has been the worst in baseball since the trade deadline, and they shut you down 2 days in a row. Obviously, yesterday it was 3 innings. Today it was 5 or 6. 6 innings. 5, really, if you want to take out that fourth inning. Yeah, they had some base runners in the 8th, which Judge got thrown out at third base, and that is inexcusable. That cannot happen, and I'm going to say it, and I'm going to call him on it. I love Aaron Judge. He's a great hitter. He's normally a good base runner. With Stanton coming up, and one of the better left-on-left hitter, the best left-on-left hitter in baseball, who's putting up numbers that haven't been this good left-on-left since Bonds, up at the plate against a lefty. You cannot get thrown out at third base. If it was like Stanton up at the plate and one out, and you're trying to risk it with a righty at the plate, it's a little bit more of a, all right, fine, good throw by Gasper, who doesn't throw out base runners, let's mind you. And got really distracted by Caballero in the 9th, where, I didn't want him stealing third either. And I was kind of hemming and hawing about it when he was dancing off second and Cabrera to the second throw over. I was like, does he go? Does he go? Like, if I were Boone, I wouldn't have let him, because I don't think that's a spot where you should be stealing third. I think you just have to live with it. The story is, the Yankee bullpen makes everything dicey. Now, someone posted on X, and they had a good point. Chris McMonagle, who's a radio host overnights for WFAN, who is awesome. So if you're a night owl, I'm not, but when my dad was a cop, he would listen, and I see his clips on social media. So if I'm doing stuff and I don't like what's on, I'll put the podcast episode on from the night before on Spotify, and I'll listen to a bit, or I could put on YouTube with their faces on if I'm in here doing work in the morning. And he tweeted out like it was really actually a good night for like the guys who matter in the bullpen. Like Cruz threw 4 pitches, and I'm going to talk about that decision from Boone. It was a bad one, and once again could have cost you a game. You know, the game was really only close because of Yarborough, right? If you yanked Schlittler, and I think it was 10-4. It was 10-4 when they yanked Schlittler. The Yankee bullpen then went out on allow 5. One of them was the solo home run given up by Bednar. All right, fine. It's a solo home run. You move past it, right? You don't like it, but you move on. That's the whole thing. You just move on from it. My God. I feel bad. Sidetrack, because I get notifications for every team. The Braves and Nationals, 2 stinky teams, are now going to extra. And Shohei Ohtani's throwing a perfect game. Those 2 teams are going to the bottom of or to the top of the 10th inning. They played a doubleheader today. They've been playing since 1 o'clock. They've been playing since 1:30. They've been playing since I got out. Since I got out of class. Which is insane. That's almost like 12 hours ago. But they had like a rain delay. Anyways, back to the point. Yarborough was horrible today. I mean, he's hanging middle pitches. He got one man out. You know, then Leiter came on for mop-up patrol. Leiter did a very good job today. Leiter got the win today, and he earned every bit of it. Mark Leiter actually looked good today. And I was texting my dad. I'm like, let's pray with this one because I don't know what this is going to look like in about 5 seconds. I'm going to pull up the box score from MLB. Mark Leiter actually pitched like a pitcher today. It was actually very refreshing to see. Because normally he's not that great. So it was a good break to see him pitch better. Because at the end of the day, the more pitchers in this bullpen going into October that you can actually trust, the better the Yankees' chances at winning a championship are. I'm going to go to scoring because I want to see were those pitches from Yarborough, who was only able to get it out. So the Mickey Gasper single, which the Yankees have some obsession with. Yeah, see, fastball 86 miles an hour hanging. The Yankees have some obsession with walking the 8 and 9 hitters or just allowing the bottom of the lineup to get up. Yeah, Fitzgerald, 9-hitter. Pitch by pitch. Ball, strike, middle cutter. That didn't cut. The broadcast was talking about cutters that didn't cut and foreshadowed that. Then the sac fly that gave everybody a bit of stress. A middle sinker. But it was a fly out. I'm curious to see. I'll check StatCast. And then this was the home run, a middle fastball that got out. And you know what? At the end of the day, I can give Bednar a reprieve on the solo home run because he's been so dominant and clutch, and I'd rather it happen in a game where he has a little bit of a cushion. The Twins aren't that good. This game never should have gotten this close. Here's a couple things. Number 1, Cam Schlittler. He walked 5 batters. It's career high. Walks cannot happen. Right? It was 5. Yep. He struck out 6, but he walked 5. His ERA went up a lot. You guys can't see this. And that's something that they're going to have to work on with him. And that's something that people on social media were talking about. That's something the broadcast a little bit was talking about. That he just doesn't throw strikes. He's talking. Hold on, let's see. So he said he was trying to get too picky and hit the corners. Obviously, he didn't. And you look at this 4 2/3, all right. 3 hits, that's great. 4 runs, A home run really stung him. I don't mind the home run. I mind what came after it. You give up the home run, all right, fine. Get the next 2 guys out. You don't give up the single. You don't walk 3 batters. That can't happen. 5 walks, 6 strikeouts. Strikeouts are good. The walks are a lot. Walking 2 with 2 out in the first inning, that can't happen. Walking 3, and I think it was 3 in that inning. I think he walked someone ahead of the home run, maybe. Or no, it was a soft sinking single ahead of the home run. It was the 5th inning. You got a sharp line out by Gasper. Then once again, the bottom of the lineup. Fitzgerald, the 8-hitter, singled. Then home run by Outman, the 9-hitter. Well, the bottom of the lineup was a combined 1, 2, 3. Okay. They were like 3 for 6 today. The bottom of the lineup had 500 against the Yankees today. Or 3 for 8. Sorry. Still, bottom of the lineup is the one getting runs. That needs to stop. Yeah, but this is a common theme. Look at the bottom of the lineup last night. Let's see. Let's say it was Brooks, Pareda, and Julian. They were combined 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for 1, 2, 3. They were combined 6 for 9 with a walk. The bottom of the lineup has killed the Yankees this series, and that needs to stop. They need to throw strikes to the bottom of the lineup. I'm sick and tired of watching them flail against the bottom of the Twins lineup. All right, the Twins sold it at the deadline, and they suck. The fact that you're not up, and I get last night with the travel and all that, and I didn't come on here last night because I was very tired yesterday. I'm going to come on here and I'm going to say this. I'm going to say it once. I was going over the schedule because Yes Network started with it before the game yesterday, with it they didn't get it until very late, and they didn't get a lot of sleep, and blah, 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 blah. Stop it. I get you didn't get sleep. I get the schedule's tough. If this was April, okay. It's September. You've been doing this since May with the Sunday Night Baseball. Because I believe they played Sunday Night Baseball against the Mets. They did have an off day on Monday. But yes, it is a real thing where the Yankees do not get off days after Sunday Night Baseball and have to travel. That's a real thing. And I do think that it's a problem in Major League Baseball. I do think that Major League Baseball needs to say something. I have to laminate this or something because I can't even read it. I went through and looked at on next year's schedule the games that they would want on Sunday Night Baseball, assuming what they would want, and the amount of times the Yankees actually have to travel elsewhere, is a lot. I could see them wanting at the end of April the Astros, then they just have to go across Texas to face the Rangers. In May, I could see them wanting the final game of the Subway Series, May 17. Now you're only going across town, but to face 4 against Toronto and 3 against Tampa Bay. Then I could see them in June. They meet the Red Sox twice in June. Twice after that, they travel, once to Cleveland, and once they're up at Fenway, they come back home. I can see them in July. They're definitely putting Yankees-Dodgers July 19 on Sunday Night Baseball. But they're home against the Pittsburgh the next day. This keeps bumping. I apologize. Then I could see them putting the Yankees and the Phillies on Sunday Night Baseball. That's probably barring if there's a better matchup. But they like to do that crap where it's oh my God, interleague. 2 teams that are good. Let's put them on. Harper and Schwarber against Judge and Stanton, because I'm assuming they'll both be back. I could see them putting Yankees-Cubs on there. Then they travel next day home to play St. Louis. I could see them putting Yankees-Boston on there. They travel on the road next day to Anaheim for a nice road trip in the end of August, beginning of September, to Anaheim and San Diego. Now I could see them putting Yankees Padres on Sunday Night Baseball, but they have an off day. Then Subway Series, the big Subway Series. Then the next day they fly out to Minnesota, same week as this year. Actually, the same days. kind of ironic. Year from right now, they'll be at Target Field playing the Twins. They'll actually be wrapping up the series and heading to Arizona on an off day. Then they're probably not going to want Arizona, but there's an off day. Once again. But there's like numerous days on the schedule next year where I could see MLB and I don't think it'll be ESPN. It's going to be NBC. Maybe shouldn't have revealed that. It looks like from what I'm hearing, it's going to be NBC and Peacock. And ESPN's going to be getting a special package, not Sunday Night Baseball. That's what I heard. Could be wrong. That's what I heard. They're trying to finalize the deals, and nothing's done yet. But they're trying to finalize everything. Moral of the story. Urian Yarbrough was put in this game too early. I think that's an honest statement. I think Aaron Boone had awful feel today for that bullpen. I would have liked to have seen Fernando Cruz actually stay in the game after getting the out that he got. I would have liked to have seen him at least start the sixth inning, because then if they don't score in the sixth inning, then you can go to Yarbrough or Blackburn or something, play with that, and maybe. But what happened was the momentum got stolen, and then the Twins pitcher started to realize, and they locked in. They really did. The Yankees used 4 real relievers and Yarbrough. They used 6 pitchers overall today. I was running out of room in my scorebook. That's great. Cam Schlittler's problem is he walked too many guys. That's it. He walked too many guys. It's going to happen. You're going to have starts like that. And we've seen this against the Twins in 2 starts now, where it gets to like the 3rd time through, and he falls apart. Right? He pitched against the Twins. Go back a bit. Oh my God. Now, look how good my notes were all the way back here. I have to go back to taking notes like this. Yeah. Last time against the Twins, 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. That's the game they lost to Joe Ryan. Wow, my notes are really organized in this game. I'm going to have to go back to doing notes like this. It's really organized if I have time. Let's see. He went 5 that 5th inning. That was the De Los Santos been getting 1 out game. That's right. He walked Larnick to lead off an inning. Gave up a double to Buxton. Ground out, strikeout, walk. Again, he got into trouble in that 4th inning. And then the 5th inning, strikeout, single, strikeout, fly out. Once again, the last 2 innings he was getting into more trouble when he retired the first 9 in a row. So this is a common theme. He retires the first in a row. I guess there was a nice play at first base made by Rice. Was it Rice? Why don't I have the positions in here? It was Rice. Anyways, that's the scoop on that. They're actually talking to later. I mean, it was encouraging. Now, look, a lot of the outs from later were rockets off the bat. So if you want to look for something to naysay him on, look, I'm not the biggest fan of Leiter. I don't trust him at all. Can Shohei give up a hit, please? I don't need my social media feed tomorrow to be Shohei Ohtani led the Dodgers to a no-hitter, even though they'll probably blow it in the 9th. And yes, I'm a hater for a minute because it's not that I hate him. He seems like a solid dude. The way he treats him, rules that they create special for him and the Dodgers, I totally disagree with. And I think should not be allowed. It shouldn't be allowed that certain players get certain special rules and others don't. Because we all know if it was the Yankees to get certain rules, that everybody and their mother would be crying. So here's the current AL standings. Let me see if I can increase this a bit. And I love the Yankees going like crazy on socials right now with, oh my God, we won, we won. You guys didn't deserve to win that game and barely won it. And the reason you won it, I think he's throwing a perfect game. I think that's what they tweeted out. I'm sorry, the Wi-Fi here is horrific and it keeps kicking. So the Blue Jays obviously lead the East, and they lead it. They lead it by 5 games. Yep, and there's the acrobatic catch to rob the homer. Please have like walk someone. Like I can't deal with this. Yeah, now I need to check. Yeah, it's a perfect game. Oh no, it's not. It's a no hitter. Okay, he did walk a batter. Thank God. I was gonna say I cannot have that. A no hitter, the Dodgers will blow it because he can only throw like 4 innings anyway, or 6 innings, whatever. What's his pitch count at? 65. Oh, they're gonna let him go. The Yankees being able to win tonight gave them an extra game on Boston, who lost tonight. So I had that game on during the blowout. Remember when this game was fun? It was a blowout. Does anyone remember that? It was fun, right? Yeah, it was a blast. It was a blast. Anyways, I had the Boston game on. They had this kid early pitching who looks really good. It looks like a stud. It looks like it's going to be a problem for a while. And I can't wait till we get a game that's early again. Shit, early against whatchamacallit. That was the Yes Network showing the deep flyout right now to Judge. That someone posted on X, like this reminded me of this moment, and it's like yes, the moment when Jhonkensy Noel hit that deep fly ball with a horrible camera angle. In the game for the ALDS, which was actually this match Leiter's longest period since that night, which is so ironic because it was like the same shot. Like I think we all thought it was gone, and he actually pitched well today. Like he hung some pitches, but who cares? They stayed in the park. Like him and Devin looked great today. For what it's worth, Devin Williams looked fantastic, and even Bednar, he didn't look horrible. You know, he hung a middle pitch to a slugger, and that's going to happen. And it's called life. You know, he's not perfect. Okay. I guess Dave Roberts said that. I guess Dave Roberts said he can only go 5 innings, but that might change. So Shohei Ohtani's throwing a no-hitter. Yay. Maybe you know what? Let's change the juju. I'll turn that game off on my iPad and put on Marlin. I'll put on Giants Diamondbacks. That looks like a good game. I just like to always have something on the screen because I like to look at things even while I'm talking to you guys. Being able to pick up a game on Boston's huge because now tomorrow you have to win. You have to go out there and win by a deal. You have to. And if you don't, shame on you. Can't lose 2 or 3 in Minnesota, and then because then you go. It's Minnesota. Then you're going to Baltimore for 4, and I expect them to split that series. You know, Baltimore's not great. You know, the White Sox, they let the White Sox get back in a game today pretty good. I don't know who won that game. I forget. That was going on the White Sox comeback while the Yankees were trying to, like, hold down. Okay. Yeah, so it was kind of the same situation. The White Sox scored 5 in the 8th inning to make it, like, a really close game. And Keegan Aiken actually got the save today. So they won 8-7. But Dean Kramer actually gave up runs, and we're going to see him at some point over the next few weeks. I know he's on the schedule. He might be Sunday, actually. It might be Schlittler Kramer. I feel like I have that penciled in somewhere. But, they were able to allow the 95 lost White Sox back into the game. They're 71-80. They're not great. They're fighting to finish 500. That's a team that you should be able to go in there. And realistically, I'm expecting a split. So something just happened in the wild card standings. Talking Yanks just posted it. It didn't just happen. It happened while we were on. The Houston Astros won tonight. The Boston Red Sox did not. Right now, if the season ended today, the Yankees would host the Houston Astros at Yankee Stadium. Now, you can ask me, hey, Matt, who would you rather, and you have a game and a half advantage on them. Matt, who would you rather have? The Red Sox in a wild card or the Astros in a wild card? My answer is the Astros, and that might surprise you. Number one, you're playing the series at Yankee Stadium. If it was at Daikin Park, it's a whole different equation. You're playing it at Yankee Stadium. That's one. Two, you've done okay against them this year. If you look at their ace, Framber Valdez, he is 0-2 against you this year. He's blown, or 0-1, but you won both of his starts. He's blown up both times against you. The other time, Duvall led them back into that game. And you were kind of you were fine against them, right? Yordan Alvarez will not be back. Period, point blank. He's done for the season. Joe Espada can sit there on his podium and tell you, we don't know. I'm telling you right now, he's not back the rest of the year. Now, barring like a trip to the World Series, like if they're going to the World Series or something, if they're facing the Yankees, I think the Yankees will beat them. So I think Yordan's done for the year. With Yordan done for the year, that lineup is very, very navigatable. No, yeah. I know this kid Cole's been pretty good, and the Yankees haven't faced him yet. You don't know what he's going to be against an ace pitcher like Frida Rodon. He's facing Jack Leiter yesterday, and I forget who he faced today. It might have been Merrill Kelly. Certainly not like ace A+ pitchers. How does the MLB app determine like top performers? How is Trevor Larnach and Fitzgerald, who both have one hit, are they just doing it because people who have homers are top performers all of a sudden? Because Volpe had 2 hits today and a walk and actually looked good at the plate. He didn't look lost today. I know he struck out in his last at bat. For the majority of the day, he didn't look lost, which is always good to see. Let's see. Who started for your Texas Rangers? Yeah, it was Merrill Kelly. I was right. Pull that one out of my behind. And tomorrow they're starting Christian Javier. I believe the Yankees got to when we saw him. I'm going to click on his game log. The one game we did lose against them in Houston was... Oh, we got to Christian Javier. Right. Because that was the game, that last game of the series. Okay, so we did get to him. We got to Framber. And then I don't know who else they have in that starting rotation that's banged up. The point is, I would rather see Framber, who you've mastered, that guy who you got runs across against, a team where, it's going to be a lot of juice in the house because of the recent history. With Boston, there's always going to be juice, more so because of the old history. But you also know Max Fried's been very good in his career against Houston. Or he's been solid enough in his career, and his start against Houston was one of his best starts he's had. Cam Schlittler has not started against Houston. I forget if Heel did at the stadium, and they actually won that game. Heel against Framber. So these are games now that if you're looking at this, and it's going to be the Astros and Yankee Stadium, I think you'd rather have the Astros and Yankee Stadium than the Red Sox. Because the Yankees have actually figured out the Astro pitching. They can get to Framber and Martin and some of the other guys. I actually need to see who the rest of their rotation is. He's not even throwing a no hitter right now, and Bleacher Report and every site imaginable is like, oh my god, it's a no hitter through five. Do they know how many people have no hitters through five? Now, I'm not saying he's not going to do it. I'm just saying. I think he is so over idolized in baseball. Like, I think it's great that he can hit and pitch. I think that's very cool. But you know what? The Dodgers aren't a super team like everybody thought. If you're asking me who I think is going to win the World Series this year, unless the Yankee bullpen, if the Yankee bullpen is like, you have like four good relievers in October that are on pretty much every day, and you have a 2-run lead going into the ninth inning every day, then Bednar's going to be good enough to close, and a lot of the guys will be good enough to get done and at least get through the American League. Okay, Shohei is done, so it will be a combined no hitter. Those don't count, and I've said that for everyone. Jason Alexander, the Yankees have not figured out. Hunter Brown, they actually got to at Yankee Stadium for 2 runs. They lost that game because Devin blew it. He's the only one that I'm a little bit concerned about, Devin, with that team. JP France, I believe he is starting. And he's been. We know him from his time up north. Brian King's in the bullpen. I just mentioned Christian Javier. I would think they would go probably in a series against the Yankees. They would probably go Hunter Brown game 1. So it would be probably Brown versus Fried. Game 2 would probably be Rodon against probably Christian Javier. Oh, no, Framber Valdez, excuse me. So lefty. And then game 3 would be, if there is a game 3, probably Luis Heel. I think the Yankees should put Cam Schlittler in the bullpen. I've said that for a long time. I've been saying that since before the trade deadline. I think they need help back there. I think you can't do it now because you need guys to get through starts. How does Francisco Alvarez keep avoiding serious injury? Like, good for the kid. I mean, really, he's taken a fucking beating this year. Oh, the Oakland Athletics have been. Did anyone see this from Dallas Braden the other night? He was on the Athletics broadcast, and he made a comment that is completely out of line, and he needs to apologize. Let me see if I can find it. Nick Kurtz hit a home run. His name is Nick Space Kurtz. I know I talk fast. Aaron Judge. So he was talking about Yankee Stadium, or he was talking about Nick Kurtz hitting an opposite field home run and tying Aaron Judge for the most oppo home runs in baseball. And he was like, well, he doesn't hit them in the Cracker Jack box or whatever. He's like something smug. And it's like, that's completely out of line, number 1. And number 2, if you look at Judge's spray chart, he doesn't hit them into the short porch normally. It's like very rare. Here it is. If this lets me show this. I mean, completely out of line. I mean, look, you can say things, it's fine. But you know what? There are certain guys you don't knock. I think the Phillies do have a hit now. Now Twitter's not working. Okay, cool. No hitter in Los Angeles. Woo. Okay, proceed. Here. Oh, you can't see this because the Wi-Fi here is fucking trash. I complain every day about the fucking Wi-Fi. I'm gonna call them. Unable to share screen. Please try again. You're gonna share my fucking screen because I said so. And if not, then I'll just download the video into restream. Okay, Aaron Judge is dumping home runs in that Cracker Jack box in the East Coast. Yeah? And guess what? You're playing at a minor league fucking ballpark, so shut up. Keep your fucking mouth shut. I'm so sick and tired of people and crapping on Yankee Stadium. You know what? The Boston Red Sox should never be able to crap on Yankee Stadium when they have that freaking pesky pole the other night. That doink home run off the pesky pole. That's a home run nowhere. He's safe. Oh, no, he's not. How do you have a runner on third and nobody out and not score? Wait. Or did they score? I don't know. Why is Bob Melvin holding his hand up? It's a catch. He's out. It's a ground ball. He does not get it out at first, though he's totally on the baseline. This is a big game here. Okay, I guess there's 2 outs now. This is a big game here for the Diamondbacks and for the Giants. The Diamondbacks want to win tonight because they do own the season series against the Mets, and that National League wild card is fun. Baseball is such a fun sport. I would have loved to have won this division, Yankee fan, but maybe getting in as a wild card. The other thing to think about: what team does Judge not hit well against? The Astros. And Boston's the other one he doesn't hit well against. Even though if Judge is going good, no one can get him out, so I guess it really doesn't matter. Like I said, I would much rather face Houston at Yankee Stadium than Boston anywhere because I think you can probably get to Houston's top 2 better than Boston. Bayo has been fantastic against the Yankees all year up until Saturday. And I think that's more of one day than multiple days. And I think that's not multiple days. I don't know what I'm talking about. I think that's more of one game, and I think that's the exception, not the rule. That's where I'm getting at. That's where all my rambling is getting at. That was the exception, not the rule. He didn't go. Wait, did you say go? Is that all? Why do these umpires suck so bad? That's another thing. Home plate umpire day sucked. It wasn't great. That scorecard's gonna be fun tomorrow, and you know what? It'll probably favor the Yankees because that's always how it goes. It's always I think it's bad, and then it favors the Yankees. Safe. He's what? The hell is that call? Oh, now they're gonna call the umps in. He was safe at first. Oh, here comes Torrio Bell's gonna get thrown out. They don't overrule this. Torrey's getting thrown. The Tigers have been struggling. Oh, it's our buddy John Baker. Okay, that's who it is. All right, he sucks. That guy who threw Jazz out for nothing. Oh, cool. And the Phillies are threatening. The Phillies are the team to beat. The Brewers are good. Philly's going to be fucking great in the postseason because they can win. Philly's got the bullpen. You got D-Rob for the 7th inning, or D-Rob's pretty much their Luke Weaver. To put it into Yankee terms, obviously Duran's our Bednar, and probably Matt Strahm is that's actually a perfect characterization. Matt Strahm's their Devin Williams. Right? Has been great. It's not been great. D-Rob is their Luke Weaver. He comes in the 6th inning if they need big outs. He comes in last night in the 10th inning to nail down the win in a one-run game after Yohan blew it on a solo home run. Wait, are they challenging it? I actually like the crew chief, John Baker. He's actually pretty good. I guess not. How do you have? That's such a Yankee thing to do. Runners on first and third, nobody out, and don't score. I feel like the Yankees do that so much. Like, you know what? To their credit, only 2 of the runs of the 10 runs today came on home runs. Uh-oh. Shohei can't get the win, and Philadelphia now leads 5-4. Look at that. Funny. It was a no-hitter to a 5-run 6th inning. That's why Philly's dangerous, because Philly can get to your guys easy. Like, Philly's a really good team. Like, I had class at 8:25 this morning, albeit an online class. I had class at 8:25 this morning. I was up till 1 o'clock in the morning watching the end of the Philly game. I was telling my mom, she called me on her way home. She's a teacher. She called me on her way home, and I was like, I'm so tired. I'm like, it didn't help. I stayed up till 1 in the morning because the clothes are blue safe. she pretends to care. I'm like, you don't care. I'm just venting about my life. But September baseball is so fun. And I think it is fun that the Yankees are actually in a pennant race right now. Like, they're not going to win this division. But hey, if Toronto just all of a sudden went on a losing streak, it's not that far-fetched that the Yankees get hot. I don't think they're going to get hot. I think tonight showed you a lot about them, that they were able to outlast a team that stinks. I also don't think that this is going to be every game. I think that if they were able to get like 4 more outs out of Cam Schlittler, that David Bednar's not pitching in this game. Right? I think if they were able to get Schlittler through the 6th inning, even if it's 10-4, it's still a 6-run lead. You're probably going to somebody else. Like, I think Yarborough is in this game too early. I don't even think that's a good matchup for Yarborough because of the players they have and the platoon advantage. Not good enough. The Yankees learned their lesson with that. And you know what? Tomorrow they have to take the series. Then they need to go into Baltimore and they need to split. You'd love to take 3 or 4. You need to split. And what you need to do is you need to somehow get to 90 and get to about 92 games. That's where I want to get to. You're at 84. Right? That means you need to win 8 more games out of the next 12 or 11. You have 4 games left to lose this year. Right? If you're going by my math, you should only lose 4 games the rest of the way. You need to sweep the White Sox. You should take 2 or 3 against Baltimore and then split against Baltimore and win tomorrow. If you win against Baltimore and you split against them at Camden, Judge's personal play pen, and if Judge is hitting, and if Judge is hitting well and they're going into Camden Yards, watch out. That might be a big series. Because you also have to remember, the Yankees haven't played them since they took 2 or 3 against them at Yankee Stadium. And Schmidt had the one-hitter, the no-hitter, that then he like fully swung, and it would have been like a triple if he made contact with it, but it was ruled a no swing, and they lost a no-hitter on that. Yeah. So when they say there wasn't a no-hitter in baseball, there should have been, but there just wasn't. It's fine. Things happen. You move on. Anyways, that was the last time they faced Baltimore. Was that insane comeback in the 8th inning? I think off Brian Baker or Keegan Aiken, one of the two. And then you went on and won that series. That was a great series. That was a great game. The Roku game. Yeah, I remember that one. That was the Roku game. That was a fun one. That was a fun day. And then that was the last time you played. You haven't played since the deadline. They're a totally different team. Now, they got some young kids. Daniel Basayo is going to be a pain in the ass, especially the Yankees, because the Yankees wanted to draft him really bad, and because they signed Garrett Cole. Major League Baseball took away their international bonus spending money that they were going to use to sign Basayo, and they couldn't. So you know he's hitting at least 2 home runs in the series. You know Henderson, who's been quiet, is going to go off. You know Holiday's going to have a couple. But at the end of the day, you got Fried going. You got Schlittler going, who has been very good even today. Take the walks out of it, he was great. You take the walks out of it, they're not scoring. Maybe they score 2 runs. You take the walks out of it. Obviously, 5 walks isn't great, but that's something with a young pitcher you're going to have to work around. And that's why I think he's going to be better out of the bullpen because you're not going to have as much time to walk guys. Right? In 5 innings, you're going to walk guys, but you might get the Cam Schlittler that showed up in the second, third, and fourth inning where he retired everybody and looked very great. You had 2 Cam Schlitters today, the one in the first and the fifth inning who couldn't get anyone out with 2 outs. I think you got the one in the second, third, and fourth inning that was easy and breezy. So I don't know if something happened, if something maybe he let it get to him, the lead that the Yankees had and the pressure that he was blowing it got to him, which I could totally see. I'm not in the locker room or the clubhouse. I don't know. What I do know is it's a battle between him and Teal for that final start in the wild card race, in the wild card round. And I don't know who it could be. Because if Heal's not sharp, you can't pitch him. If Schlittler's a walking guy, you can't. I think Schlittler's stuff is good, but Heal's good too. Like, tomorrow I think is a big start for Heel because it's against a bad team, and he was able to dominate a solid Red Sox team, albeit Chris Cotillo of Mass Live, who I've taken classes with and is really a great writer for Mass Live. Oh, wow. Philly scored again. And it's a really – he's awesome. They discovered today what I told you guys on Friday or Saturday, whatever it was, that the Yankees' ease of getting the Red Sox out that series was because Roman Anthony was not in the lineup, and they have scored about 3.81 runs a game without Roman. Not an excuse. That's not an excuse for Boston to lose games. It's not. And it's not a ho-hum, well, the Yankees only beat them. No, the Yankees did their job. The Yankees beat what they had in front of them. They can't control who's on the field, who's not. That's why I'm saying Yordan Alvarez is not going to be in the lineup for Houston. Well, the Yankees have a better chance of beating Houston without Yordan Alvarez. That's a fact. We all know it's a fact. Right? So if the Yankees have a better chance of beating them, you take... So I'd rather face Houston at Yankee Stadium. Now, if you're facing Houston on the road, I don't love it. But you also know the Boo Birds for Altuve are going to be out. He feeds off it. The Boo Birds for Correa are going to be out. They feed off it. Like, if Houston, and it's hard to say, I'm going to try it again. I'm going to wrap this up. I think the Yankees playing this series at Yankee Stadium would be great. I also think that the crowd can get into it a lot and affect it. Now, the Yankee record against Houston in the postseason, counting the Dallas Keuchel game, 0-1, 3-1. They're 3-5 at Yankee